Hi everyone, my name's Daryl,
And I'm Nicole.
and today we're gonna get the opportunity actually to be live at the Hershey RV Show. And EcoFlow reached out to us because they saw our ALiner podcast on the ALiner AMP, and they kind of wanted to talk to us just a little bit about the EcoFlow Power Solution that's being used in the ALiner.
So today we're talking with Tim Kushurski. Hopefully I said that correctly.
Probably not.
Patrick Industries. And we're also going to have on the podcast Chuck Phillips from ALiner.
It's going to be very exciting. So let's get started.
Hey guys, how are you?
Doing great. How are you, Tim?
Hi, Tim. Nice.
Good. Hey, I just want to make sure this works good. And I'm here with Chuck Phillips. He's with ALiner, and then Thomas Queener, who is our product manager at QAV Patrick Industries.
Okay.
And I'm going to point the camera over to them and let them go through the whole ALiner AMP EcoFlow coach for you guys.
Okay, that's great.
Thank you so much.
Okay, let me see if I can work this out. I apologize.
No problem. No problem.
How's it going, guys? I'm Chuck Phillips from ALiner, and we're going to talk today about the new ALiner AMP, which is a brand new 15-foot A-liner on an 18-foot frame, kind of based off the Evolution that we brought out last year. And then we integrated the whole EcoFlow system, which Thomas will tell you about here. So,
Great.
you guys have go ahead.
Great.
All right, so the EcoFlow system altogether, it's
Oh, hey,
a little
Chuck.
so
Hey, Chuck.
simple.
Hey, Thomas.
Yeah.
Hey, Chuck, can you just kind of, this is the first time I think anybody, except maybe that's at the RV show, have seen the inside of the ALiner AMP. Can you just kind of swing the cameras around just a little bit?
Sure.
Kind of talk about it real quick.
Oh, there.
Yeah, we'll start. We'll let Chuck, and we'll just go around in here, and then we'll come back to the EcoFlow system.
Okay.
Okay,
so-
cool.
Starting in the back, obviously, can be very similar to most A-liners, where you've got your rear sofa that pulls out and makes your main primary bed. That's gonna be a 60 by 80 queen bed back here. So
Okay.
similar to Expeditions or Evolution models. Through the cabinetry here, this is the center cabinet, would normally be storage, but this time we've got the EcoFlow system in here. So you've got your PowerHub,
Okay.
your monitor panel, your fuses and breakers are down below, and your batteries actually inside this particular door down at the bottom. Like an Expedition, the AMP has the cassette.
Hey, Chuck, that looks really high tech there, man.
It is. It's very, very high tech. In this cabinet, we've got our cassette toilet like we would in most of the other 15-foot models.
Okay.
So middle of the night, you're covered on the bathroom.
Have the
dinette on this
have the
particular
toilet-
unit.
You have the toilet right next to the high tech stuff.
Yes. Yeah. You know how it is in an A-liner. There's not always a ton of space, but we utilize it the best we can.
Okay.
So you got your 40-inch dinette up here, which makes a secondary sleeping area. And then we've got the shower pan recessed into the floor, just like we do in the A-liner Evolution.
Okay.
So the includes the shower, which obviously there's a shower curtain that hangs from this ring, which hangs up here in the top of the dormer. So as far as the galley's concerned, you got your 3 cubic foot refrigerator, which is 3-way.
Okay.
It's got a small freezer in the top of there. The AMP is getting an induction cooktop, where the rest of our cooktops are normally just a 2-burner propane stove, but this is going to have an induction stove.
Oh, that's nice.
And, yeah. Get your glass covered sink in here too.
That's pretty cool.
A couple of the other features that are unique to the AMP, and is actually going to bleed over into the Evolution series a little bit. This model has a tankless on-demand water heater.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we used to use the 6-gallon propane, so that's an upgrade. The induction cooktop's an upgrade, and then the combination of EcoFlow with the 800 watts of solar that's on top of the dormers. This is going to be a winner for sure.
Wow,
Okay,
that's
sounds
great. Thank you so much, Chuck.
Sure.
Okay.
So I know you guys had a lot of questions on your podcast, and that's what kind of instigated this impromptu meeting and helped you guys understand. And
Okay.
you brought up some good questions that people are probably wondering about.
Okay.
And I'll let Thomas, since this is his bread and butter right now, working the system for us. He'll go over it and stop us at any time if you have any questions. We've been here since Sunday. I drove up from Florida, where I live, Thomas drove out from Indiana where he lives, so we've been pretty talkative all the time. So we just keep going. So just cut us off and answer these questions for us. So we'll do that for you guys. So.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to start off here with the PowerHub. So the PowerHub is the bread and butter, all the brains of this entire system. So the PowerHub itself is a 5-in-1 component. So we have a DC to DC charger, 3 solar controllers built in, and then we have our inverter and our converter all built into that one box. So all of your components in your typical lithium solar setups in a normal coach, you're going to see a million wires. You're going to see a bunch of different components all tied together, typically spread out on a big board. With our EcoFlow system, it's so small that we're able to tuck it in this little cavity. You'll notice there's a little bit of space here. We've got some fans top and bottom for ventilation. ALiner also did a really great job of doing these routed vents on the side to ensure that even though we've done proper ventilation standards, that nothing's ever going to happen. It's always going to have proper ventilation in the unit.
So Thomas, on that PowerHub, is that kind of the same thing as your portable power solutions, or is this kind of a totally different solution?
Totally different. So this is a mounted permanent solution. There's no
Oh.
portability to it. It's not something that you're going to pull out of the unit. It's mounted down in.
Okay.
We've got a bracket in here. Everything is 100% cemented into this unit. You may see some variations, and if you do some research, you'll see the PowerHub set up as home systems. In a similar way that you may see some of those Delta Pro products set up in home systems. So
Oh,
it is something that can be done by all means. But in the RV setting, we are a permanent solution. Everything's mounted down.
okay. One other question. Is this something that you're working with other RV brands to do this kind of permanent solution?
Yeah, absolutely. So our main focus altogether and the big benefit with this system is the large simplicity with it.
Yeah.
Some may argue this, but we're the first true plug and play system. There's not an ounce of wiring that you have to do for this. So not only for a production standpoint is it super easy, and it allows manufacturers to get this in a manageable time. But there's also a large concern for safety with a lot of those other systems that are out there. Being in an RV setting, you're not always in a position where you can go to a dealer or get a tech out to come help you. And sometimes you got to try and figure things out on your own.
Yeah.
When you look at a lot of these other systems, you're looking at, 4 to 10 different components. You're looking at giant 4-aught wiring across all these different touch points. And it's scary because in a lot of those systems, it takes one wrong move and you could be seriously harming yourself.
Sure.
I'll have Tim just point back here right now to our system. Here's our battery cable, right? It's mounted down in here pretty secure, but even right now, and I do this in all of our sales demos, I can pull this battery cable off, snap it back down, mess around with it. There's no concern for safety with our system. Part of that is the plug and play, and part of that is being a 48-volt system. But there's no open lugs on our system. There's no room for somebody to take a wrench, drop it across 2 terminals, and seriously cause harm to themselves. So we're really big on safety with this system as well.
So I saw when you were panning down there looked like there were 2 open slots where currently nothing is plugged in. Is that
Yeah.
expanded for more solar panels?
No, so right now, and I'll start from the far left side here on the hub. So our first port here is actually, we're using an alternator cable right now because we're tying into the 7-way plug off the back end of your truck. So every time you're driving, your system is getting a little bit of charge from that 7-way plug.
Okay.
It is optioned. You could also put solar here, but in this setup in particular, we are coming off the 7-way plug here. The next 2 slots are going to be our solar end. So on this unit, we have a 400-watt panel on each side of the camper, which is absolutely awesome. It's amazing that ALiner made the real estate and decided to go that route. You don't see a lot of solar like that anywhere close to that 800-watt on most units. So they took advantage of it and they put a hefty amount of solar to make sure that you're actually having a solar system that your system can take advantage of, something that's truly going to charge your system. Okay. So each one here is a dedicated 400-watt panel. Just to the left of that here, we have our battery 1 slot. So with this system in particular, there's a 5 kilowatt hour, 100 amp hour, 48 volt battery. So 48 volts, a little bit new. We're one of the first ones kind of in here doing it. And to give you the number comparison, so our 5 kilowatt, 100 amp hour, 48 volt battery would be the equivalent to 416 amp hours in a 12 volt setting. And we're able to put all that power and juice just down here in this tiny cabinet with our single 5 kilowatt hour battery. For most people, I think it brings up the question of, okay, I have 48 volts, and what about all my power? We're just like any other system. Our power feeds into a distribution panel that feeds all of your 12 volt products and all of your 110 products. The big thing on the 48 volt side of things, big one is safety again, not only plug and play, but the 48 volts in itself. You'll notice on our battery cables, we only use 6 gauge. The higher the voltage you use, the less amperage, which means thinner cables. So we're able to have these nice loomed flexible cables that are easy for the manufacturers to route versus having to crimp and do all your own connections in-house. So it's super, like I said, big on production friendly and saving the guys time on the line. The other thing that comes big into play and something we talk about a lot is solar efficiency is kind of the way I like to put it. In a typical setting in a 12 volt world, the rest of this industry, we've got solar controllers, right? Because a typical panel, and I can tell you right now, we're bringing in 30 volts off each panel. And
Go ahead and pull that up.
so I'll go ahead in here to the input, and we can see over here, what are we at right now?
Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Let me get here. I apologize.
So we're at 28 volts right now on the panels, which is great. Now, for us being a 48 volt system, and you can also see our runtime down over here. For us being a 48 volt system, there's no conversion. So in a 12 volt setting, if you're getting 30 volts in, your solar controller has to convert that every time. And unfortunately, with every conversion, there's a little bit of loss. So you're losing the efficiency of your system. We're a 48 volt battery. All 30 volts is going straight down immediately.
So
That's
how,
why ALiner chose a system like this for the efficiency of it.
so how long does it take to charge in full sun, to fully charge up the battery?
So I'll give you the number. So just off shore power alone, with this single 5K setup in here, we're at 2 hours and 43 minutes to go from 0 to full charge. Solar and the charge times, it's so variable. The peak performance of a solar panel is going to be when you're in direct sunlight, which again, is just something that I could give you a number, but your environment's going to matter a lot.
Sure.
For typical unit that's, maybe only going to have 100 watts on it and as big of a system as this, it's not going to do a lot for the charge. But on the ALiner, having an 800 watt panel system, it definitely benefits you. It does a true charge to our battery system, but trying to give you an exact number is a little tough. It's something there's so many variables involved that it's hard to give you a pinpoint. The cool thing about our system, like right now, I went ahead, I shut off our shore power. I cranked the AC all the way up. So you'll notice right now we have a 4 hours and 21 minutes left of runtime. And that's with, right now we have solar is the only thing coming in. The cool thing is right now we're at 94%, but if we drain down and we plug back in, it'll give you that charge time. So if we stop pulling right now, our AC and DC is off and we're just charging, it'll give you that exact runtime. So if you're getting that power pulled in, it'll tell you, hey, I've got an hour till full charge or 2 hours. So
And it's kind of cloudy here in Hershey right now too. So
Okay.
Oh, okay. That's good to know.
So it's kind of, it'll let you know, if you have the AC running, it's going to kind of give you an idea on how long you can actually run that AC for.
yeah, everything. So no matter what you turn on the unit, the system automatically recognizes the draw and automatically corrects that time of how long your system's going to run, which allows for the end consumer, for someone who's going to come out and buy this ALiner, they can manage their power a lot more easily. It's as simple as just looking at your screen and checking your runtime.
So you said this thing can charge while you're on the road. So, with your 7 pin,
Yeah.
can it charge on the road with solar as you're running down the road?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
absolutely.
That's cool.
That's cool. That's really a big benefit right there. Because you're pretty much getting full sun if you're driving to a campground.
Yeah.
So what about, one of the things we heard when people were talking about the amp is, you kind of want your A-liner in the shade because it's hot if you're like in the Texas summer heat or something like that, but yet you want it, so you want it in the shade, but yet you want it in the sun so it can charge the solar. So is there options for, because I know you guys, or at least EcoFlow, are you an employee of the Patrick Industries, or are you from EcoFlow?
I'm the product manager for QAV Patrick Industries.
Okay.
So can any of the EcoFlow panels actually be added to this system?
So you can like portable, so that you can move it actually into the sun and park your A-liner in the shade?
Yeah, absolutely. So if we come back down over here to the alternator and solar inputs, these first 3 slots are actually all solar if you want them to be. For us in this particular unit with that 7-way, we're occupying with the alternator. But for an end consumer, if they wanted to go out and purchase any of our EcoFlow portable solar panels, which will be a 110, a 160, or a 400, you could simply remove the 7-way plug. You could purchase that portable panel and the solar charge cable here for the PowerHub, and that's something you could run.
Okay, that's cool. Is there a way to get it? Is it a way to get it into the A-liner, or would you need to go through the door and?
But at that point, you would kind of need to go through the door.
Yeah, we'd have to check and see. You might actually be able to bring it through the rear baggage door on the outside here and work it through the rear sofa. I'd have to double check and make sure that nothing under there is screwed down right now, but that would be an option probably. Or you could potentially even, the seals on the dormers are big D seals, and there's 2 of them that match up on the back side there. You could probably actually put it right through the panel of the dormer.
Okay, because we've had several campsites where we've been totally in the shade, and so I don't know how much the solar panels on the dormers would really charge.
Yeah.
Whereas if it's an extra panel, we could just go and set it out from under the trees.
Yeah.
Or plug it in if you're at a campsite, you charge it that way too. So
That's true.
Multiple ways done if you're plugged in, but yeah, even if you were using a portable panel, we could definitely find the best way to wiggle a cable through so that it would you wouldn't have to have your door.
So we don't have like the ZAMP plug or whatever we used to have anymore.
Yeah, those ZAMP plugs are actually what our solar panels are plugged into. The EcoFlow panels are plugged into. So there's actually 2 of them now versus 1 because we've got 2 panels on each one.
Oh, okay.
So while you're driving down the road, you would have that plugged in?
Yeah, you could. Yes, the cable's got a little excess in it, so you'd have to probably zip tie that cable together a little bit and on maybe around one of the gas struts of your dormer, but just so it's not flapping in the wind while you're traveling. But yeah.
And the panels are permanently mounted on the dormers. There's no way to like take them off and stick them.
Correct. Yeah, these are actually the rail system that the panels are sitting on are actually riveted or bolted to the extrusions of the dormer. So those are going to be permanently on the trailer.
Okay.
So I guess one of my questions was and I kind of made this assumption, maybe I made it incorrectly, in regards to we're adding significant weight to the dormers with the solar panels being on top. So was there any design change to the dormers or any sort of changes in regards to the mechanism, that, because sometimes it's kind of hard to lift because of the weight of the dormers to lift the roof?
Yeah, so nothing physically changed about the dormers themselves, but they did increase the poundage of the gas struts that both push the roof up and push the dormers up. So I set this unit up when I got here on Sunday, and it went up as easy as an Expedition with dormers or an Evolution with dormers without the panels on top. So they did adjust for that, and it's pretty simple.
So in regards to it plugging into that ZAMP port on the A-liner, you could, if you had a portable, if you were in shade and you had a portable EcoFlow unit, could you just use that portable one and just plug it in to that port?
So for that one, our portable panels use a little bit of a different connector. So for anybody that cut 2 wires and strip them and put that style of connector on there, you definitely could use that as an option.
That's not something. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I got it. Okay. Let's see. What are the other questions?
Yeah.
if there's not any questions right now, I'll kind of jump into the batteries and a little bit of the
Yeah, go
expandability.
ahead. Yeah, go ahead. I'm looking at my question list here.
So, like I said, we've got the single 5 kilowatt in here. I went ahead and pulled the covers off. All of our systems do come with covers on here, but we do have expandability for 2 more batteries, which means you can go all the way up to 15 kilowatt hours, which that is a lot of juice. 5 kilowatt hours in this unit already does quite enough, and it's going to allow you to have an extended runtime for sure. But there's an option for, hey, I want to go out and I want to order another 5K or order a battery cable. And it's as simple as, there's, like I said, there's no wiring. So you see our battery cable here. It's really nice. It's all loom, very flexible 6 gauge. The customer would be able to just go out, order another 5K, order that battery cable, and throw it in themselves. There's no programming that has to be done with that. It's as simple as plug and play. Kind of like adult Legos in that way.
Does the cabinet, does it fit an extra 2 units in there?
No, not at this time. Underneath here, and if we want, we can go ahead and open it up and show the current setup for the 5K. So that's the current 5K as it sits underneath the cabinet.
Oh, that fills it pretty good.
Pretty big battery, but it's a lot of juice.
Yeah.
And it comes to, you know, if you're really someone who's going to spend a lot of time out and you're really wanting to boondock and you're not plugged in, you know, there's options and availabilities. I mean, some of those might mean sacrificing a little bit more space, but if you're really looking to add a little bit more power and you're trying to be off grid as much as possible, that's something you can certainly add in.
Yeah, and one more note on that battery placement too, which is nice. Obviously, you're gonna have your standard marine grade battery up on the front tongue of the ALiner. So this being directly over the axle, this entire system is basically right over the axle. So it decreased your hitch weight and then didn't add any additional weight to the back of the trailer. So nice and centered, and gives you a perfect tow while you're heading down the road also.
So the propane tanks will be all by themselves up in the front on the hitch.
Propane tanks still go up front. Yep.
Maybe you guys can add that little storage solution up front again. That would be nice. I like those little storage.
I know, we love the trunk too, and for some reason, it was a really weird thing. That trunk started to sit on dealers' lots. And I think part of the problem was it was on our 12-foot models for the most part. And I think what happened was it was taking those models, like Ranger 12s and Classics, and taking them out of the tow range as far as like tow vehicles are concerned. So I think when you add that extra length of the frame plus the trunk, and the people were going to add the weight in there, all of a sudden you weren't Subaru Outback towable anymore, you know?
Yeah.
So it was a crazy thing, because that was a beautiful, as far as front trunks were concerned, that one piece plastic trunk was as good as it gets. But for some reason, towards the end there, they kind of were sitting on dealers' lots, so we discontinued it.
ALiner owners really seem to love their Outbacks.
Yes, they do. It's our unofficial tow vehicle, as I say. I say 8 out of 10 customers.
You should work some sort of deal with Subaru.
I actually have tried before. I've actually tried to sign up a Subaru dealer in the past, but didn't work.
No, you just got to get some golden retrievers. Golden retrievers are the official dog. Just have a golden retriever be a part of the kind of the ALiner marketing, because I mean, like, everybody that owns an ALiner has a dog, but just make it the golden retriever and you'll be good to go.
There you go. Yeah, that's right. Take like Coachman in the dog bag.
One other thing too, really quick, I want to go over this distribution panel, because there is a extremely neat operation of being a smart system as this distribution panel. I'll have Thomas show you one more time on the panel. So
yeah, so here's our
panel is really nice.
Yeah, it is a really good look. There is a little bit of indicators back here for both when your AC and DC side are on. I'll go ahead and leave this on because it looks too good, but we call this our smart distribution panel, and you'll see that just there underneath the EcoFlow logo. And I kind of want to jump into that. So the main portion of that smart function is actually, if you go into your output on your panel and you go ahead and jump over to your DC side, there's actually 6 built-in controllable circuits. Now, it's really neat because you can control it through a console, but we also have our EcoFlow app. So if you're connected with your EcoFlow app to your system, and you can see here, we've got porch light as one of those 6 controllable. So if you're coming back to your campground at night and you really have no idea where your unit is, or if you're just having a hard time seeing, you go on your EcoFlow app, turn on that main porch light, see exactly where your unit is and have a little bit of a better guided path to get back to your
That's
camper.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
The second portion of that smart feature is it'll tell you anytime a DC fuse blows and what circuit that is and what number, or same thing if your breakers tripped, it'll tell you that.
Oh, nice.
So definitely some really neat features. EcoFlow really, even in new product discussions that we're having, they're big on being able to control your unit remotely, and having those little extra features.
Yeah.
So that's going to continue with any new products that come online as well.
So do you actually turn on the AC from that little panel there?
No, so the controllable circuits are actually just on the DC side. In here, we are running a 110 AC, so that's still something that's done manually through that controller.
Okay,
Yeah, it'd
cool.
be kind of cool if you could remotely turn on your AC right before you got done with your right
Hi.
after you've done your hike and you're so hot. Turn that AC on.
You guys laugh about that. Give us about 6 months.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. We'll be in the market then.
Yep.
Well, it looks really cool.
Yeah, we really like it. It's pretty cool, innovative little system there. I like it a lot.
So, you guys have any other questions? I know Chuck's had, there has been a line out the side of this unit.
Really?
We've been in here filming with people wanting to come in this unit
wow.
and get on the store, and the salesman has to come down and say, "Oh, wait, hang on, we'll be there in a minute." So just
Tell them to subscribe to my YouTube channel.
subscribe to the YouTube channel. And you know what, guys? This was impromptu last night, this morning. Thank you so much for doing this. We wanted to.
How is the show going? Is the show going good? Yeah, lining up to see the A-liner. That sounds pretty good.
Foot traffic has been strong, extremely strong here. I think the mentality of people here, they're in the buying season, you know.
Yeah.
And it's been warm here in Hershey, cloudy, rainy a couple days, but it's going good. I think overall enthusiasm at the show. Me as the sales guy for Patrick Industries, I've talked to a lot of manufacturers, and they're excited.
That's great.
It's a beautiful unit.
Yeah, we really like it.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much again, guys. I really appreciate your time and taking the opportunity to show everybody this new amp unit.
But Chuck, at the show, where can they find this unit that is on sale now?
Yeah, absolutely. As soon as you come out of the parking lot and cross the bridge coming into the Hershey RV Show, we are directly in front of the Giant Center. So you can't miss us. As soon as you come in on the right, come out to the main aisle and you'll see a bunch of A-liners at Beckley's Camping Center is the displaying dealer this weekend. So look for the green Beckley signs and the A-liner peaks, and we'll be here to service you when you get here.
So is that A-liner
I
amp?
appreciate you guys.
Is that the same color as the A-liner Evolution, or is it a little bit of different color scheme outside?
Well, talking about what you guys were talking about earlier, this particular unit is the first one we built, and we did it in the gray, like the Evolution, but the production units from here on out actually are going to be a white fiberglass to keep them as cool as possible.
Okay.
So, yeah, we are
as cool as possible. Nice.
Okay.
Very smart. Yeah, that's great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time.
So we'll get this out today, and I'll spam all of the various Facebook groups. So hopefully somebody will be out there back east and checking you guys out today, or tomorrow. So that'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you very much for the time, and look forward to it.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
Thank you, John. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I've changed for the better this time. I thought I would never be fine. I strive just to say I'm alright, and for the first time in a long time I'm alright. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay.